Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be making a couple of little ephemera booklets, holders, whatever. I'm sure you've all seen me using these all the time. I really love them. They're just so handy and just such a nice size. They're 6 by 6 and I just love them. Actually, they end up as 6 by 5.5, but you'll see why in a minute. I have made one before on camera, but it was quite a while ago and I really need a couple more. I'm going to have to stop because I'm going to run out of space in my little box where I keep them, but at the moment I've got 5 of these, I think, and I need a couple more. And the reason I need more, just pop that back in there, I just love having them right in front of me and I can just get things out. The reason I need more is because I have been buying a lot of word labels recently. I'm always finding I haven't got the right word label. I don't have very many, or I didn't have very many, and certainly hardly any vertical ones. So I went on to Etsy and I just went a bit mad and bought quite a few word label kits. And I'm going to need, for one of the kits, I'm going to need a whole book because I'll show you them. I've cut quite a lot of them. I've already fussy cut, but there are so many. They are by an Etsy shop called Everything Charlie. I just came across when I was looking for vertical words. And these come in, you get 2 sets of words. So I've just cut the top one off. So it's a full sheet. I've printed this. Oh, I need to scribble on the back of these. Mustn't forget to do that. So you get 2 sets of words, so 2 sheets in each colour, and there are 10 colours. So that's a lot of labels, because if you've got 2 A4 sized sheets of labels in each colour, so that's 20 sheets. By the time you cut them all up, it's just ridiculous amounts. So all I've done so far is print off 1 sheet of each colour, and I think that'll fill the book without any trouble at all. So there are a few here that I've only just cut the strips, because I've already done about 4 whole sheets. I've already fussy cut, and I just run out. My hand started to hurt. It always hurts here when I'm cutting things with my scissors. So I started doing it a bit with the trimmer, but it takes time. So that's just 1 set. And so there's some really great selection of words just in that set. And then I bought several more. I've got another vertical set by Jewel Design, and they've got some really nice words on as well, and they're all slightly coffee dyed looking, so they're all ready to chop up. They'll have to go in the other book. I've got these by Lynn's Altered Arts, so I've got to cut those up, and I've actually done these 2 to a page because they were quite large and I didn't really want them that big. So they're still quite big. They're big enough. So I've put those, so I've got those printed, ready to cut out. I have more. This one, I think, is by an Etsy shop called the Journal Boater. Quite a strange name. So I've got a pink set and a blue set. There's also a green set, and I think in here, oh no, I didn't, not in there. I separated them out so I wouldn't lose them. I've also got a set here, which is the kind of coffee dye, just plain brown set. So I've already cut out most of those. I've also reprinted a lot of my Tracy labels. They've got to go into the Tracy book, so they're ready to go. I've cut all those out, so I've been quite busy. So I've got a whole load of these vertical words by Everything Charlie. So they're green, I've got orange, I've got pink, and I've got blue, all cut out. Just 1 page. I mean, there's just so much of it. It's unbelievable. So that's those. Have I got any more? Oh yeah, I think I already had these. I can't even remember who they're by. These could be My Porch Prints. These are My Porch Prints Inspirational Skinny Words. So that's my porch prints. I can't remember. One of them I already had and forgotten I had. Can't remember which one. So there we are. So I have an awful lot of labels to find homes for. I don't even know if 2 books are going to be enough, but I really needed some more. Or I had hardly any. I had just a few here and there. So, and I love making these little booklets. So let's get started. I'm going to put those over here. I'm going to cut into my Tim Holtz paper pad. I've hardly used any of it. I have been hoarding it. I've probably had it for probably a couple of years. And I've used a very small amount. I'm just been hoarding it. So I thought, well, what I can do, because sometimes they're quite tricky to use, is to use the 6x6 sheets at the back, because they're sometimes a bit more difficult to use. So I thought that's what I will use for this, because it's 6x6 I need. So there's 4 on there. And I have got, I've got 2 of this one, so I definitely can use that. And I've got another one of those the same. So whether I've used one of them already, I'm not sure. And I've decided all the other booklets I've done have all been 8 pages, which I thought that's probably enough. Because I have so many of those Everything Charlie labels, I'm going to do 10 sheets and see how that works out. So I'm going to pick a couple of these as well. And I have 2 sheets of this, so it's fine. So I'm going to do a couple of those. And let's see how we go with 8 of them. So I'm going to cut these down. So I'll start with this one, and I'll just cut them into their 4 6x6 sheets. Right, so I have my 10, and the next thing to do, I want to decide which one I want on as my front cover, because that one I'm going to have to trim down a little bit, and also it's the one you see all the time. So I'm just going to go through and decide which is my favourite, which is quite a hard choice because they're all so pretty. I really quite like that one, and I do love that one. Oh, and I love that one as well. Gosh, don't love that. I like that, but I think it's between these 2. The thing is, if I don't, all the prettiness is on the right, and that's the side we're going to have to score and fold. So I don't really want to score and fold this one. I think I can just about manage to get rid of that little piece, so I'm just going to go with that. No logic really. Right, so because it's got to be, they're all going to be scored at a half, so you can fold it in to join them together. But the front one, I think some of them I have cut and some of them I've folded, and I think it's less bulky if I cut off the 1/2 inch, because you don't need the front one to have the fold. So I'm going to cut off a bit of this side, turn it around and try and line it up at a 1/2. That's quite tricky because it's so narrow. Such a narrow spot. I'm trying to figure out where the 1/2 is. So that's the 1/4. And the 1/2 must be about there, I suppose. I might just mark it. That might be the easiest thing to do. Mark it both ends, then I know I'm cutting it in the right place. So I don't want to cut off more than the 1/2 inch, otherwise it won't sit right. So, the rest of them are dead easy. I just want to get this one right because I'm not going to be scoring it, I'm going to be cutting it. So I'm just going to mark 1/2 inch that side at the top and at the bottom to make sure I line it up, and then we'll cut it off. Got that the right side? Yes. It's always best to check. Got it the right way around. Right. So that's the front. And then all the rest will need to be scored on this edge. Yes. Just trying to work out which way it's got to be folded. It needs to be folded forwards. So fold it up. So that needs to be the valley, I think. Yeah. I think I need to turn them around. It's been a while since I've made these. I've got to try and remember what I did. Oh, come on, get it. These things are always tricky to get out, aren't they? Right, so score it at 1/2 inch. And then we fold it this way. Yep. And actually you don't lose the design because it lays flat on the page in front of it, so you're not losing it. So that works. Right, and I will do each one the same. Right, so all those are done. They're all scored and folded, and as you probably noticed, I scored them, most of them, on the wrong side. But I don't think it really makes a lot of difference. But I suddenly realised what I was doing. You probably saw that. So the next thing to do is to start sticking them together, and this is very straightforward. So what we do is we stick them on like that, and then you end up with them lining up. They should line up like that. And let's hope this works. So I'm just going to use my art glitter glue and glue them on. And it's a case of lining up the edge. For some reason this one appears to be longer. I'm not sure why. Is it longer than all of them? Now that's very odd. Because I cut it one side, but I didn't cut it. How long is that? It's just over 1, 2, 3, just over the 6 inches. Whereas this one is a tad under 6 inches. That's probably just the way I've cut them out. I'll have to trim it afterwards. I think that's probably the simplest thing. I think I'll just trim off any overhang. Yeah, I'll line it up. I'll line them up at the top. And if there's any overhang on any of them, I can then, it may just be the top one needs trimming, but it's quite possible others will have ended up different lengths for some reason. As far as I could tell, I was cutting them down the middle, but maybe I should do it as I go along, because it might be a bit tricky once the book's been put together. Well, it's going to be a bit tricky now, isn't it? Yeah, maybe I won't be able to do that with this trimmer. I better have my big trimmer on hand. Trim as I go, maybe. Let's see how it works out. Okay, that one. Hopefully most of the others will line up, but there may be others that end up being slightly different length. So this is okay. So these are really easy to make, but they're very fun to use and they're very handy. I love them. And they're a lot quicker to make than, I mean, I have made other types, you know, following other people's tutorials and things, but I didn't come up with this idea, I have to say. This is not my idea. I saw it, gosh, ages ago on somebody else's channel who I'm afraid I can't remember. And did it following that. And I mean, this was probably a good couple of years ago. I saw it and I thought, well, that's a really nice, easy way to create a little booklet. And I have been making them ever since. Is this one the right length? Yep, seems to be. So yeah, it is just so nice to be in my craft room again. I know it hasn't been ages. I think that I was in here on Monday and this is now Friday, but it has been such a busy week. We had Alyssa for the day on Tuesday, which was lovely, lots of fun, but tiring, as I'm sure you can imagine. And then the last 2 days we've spent, oh no, this is longer, we have spent moving all our stuff upstairs, back into our newly decorated, newly fitted out bedroom. Because we have been sleeping, as I've probably mentioned, downstairs for about 3 weeks. It's amazing how much stuff we had down there. I think that the issue is we were able to take all our drawers and things complete downstairs. We took the chest of drawers, bedside tables and everything. I just took out the drawers out of the main body of the piece and just slotted them back in again, so we didn't have to empty them. Well, of course now we have all new drawers and new bedside cabinets with drawers. So instead of just bringing the drawers up, we've got to empty them all and bring them up, all the things inside, separately. And it takes quite a while, and it's exhausting, up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs. So the last 2 days have been really, love that side too. These are so pretty, these papers. Yeah, so it's been quite tiring. And we've been trying to get the place clean. I was cleaning the bathroom, the bathroom downstairs that we've been using. I've been cleaning that this morning because we've got my sister and her husband coming for the weekend tomorrow. So that's going to be quite busy. There'll be lots of cooking to do and, you know, just general being sociable. Sometimes Richard says to me, do I have to be sociable? Yes, you do. You have to be nice to people. You have to be friendly and chat. He likes to just do his own thing. But he's pretty good, really. He's a very good host when the time comes. Very good at making teas and coffees for everybody. So yes, so that's going to be quite busy, but it's going to be really nice. We're going to take them over to see my eldest daughter and granddaughter, so I don't think they've been over there since they did their extension, so that should be quite nice to do that, take them over, and Jenny will be able to tell them the date of her wedding, which has all been booked, but I don't think they've told many people yet, because they've been doing save the date cards. This is like a precursor to an invitation. Keep worrying I'm putting these on upside down, but I think we're okay. So it does get a bit tricky once the book gets thicker. I wonder if I can do it this way. That doesn't really work, does it? Let's try. See if I can cut it down now. It's only a fraction, really. I think if there's any more towards the end, I might have to do them by hand. Just finish that off. I guess they're not all true 6x6s when you cut them up. So, next one. And this one as well. This one's also a bit long. I think it's got to the point where I'm just going to have to trim by hand now. I don't think it's on particularly straight anyway. Do it that way. Oops, that's not right. Try some scissors so I can get a bit closer maybe. Better. Okay. Love it. Right, just a few more. Let's try and move it. Right. Okay. So, we have a little booklet. And I just need to find a piece of fabric just to wrap around the spine. In fact, I think what I was thinking I might do with this one is put some lace around the spine. I need it to be about that wide. I don't know if I've got any that wide. Could cut one of these down, one of these really wide ones. So I don't need, oh no, it isn't too wide actually. I thought it was going to be too wide, but it isn't. That might be just right. Is it wide enough? I think it is. It's just got to really just cover the spine, although this spine is a little thicker than some of the others. Is it going to be big enough? I'm not sure. Maybe I better try a piece of this one. I think it's not quite... Whoops, wrong way round. Sorry, did I bash the camera? Beg your pardon. Just waving my arms about willy-nilly there. Let's just see if we can get this little bit of this piece of lace, cut it to fit. That's the thing to do, I think. This is a thicker book than the others. And usually I just cut the fabric to the size I need. So why not do the same with the lace? And I wanted the crochet lace because it seems to go better with the Tim Holtz style rather than the finer lace. Let's see how wide this is. This might be okay. Sometimes when it's all wound up around the thing, it looks, around the card, it looks wider than it actually is. I think this might be okay actually. I'm going to cut that to size and we'll see. I'll need a little trim there. So I'm just going to cut it about there. Let's do this. There. And wrap it around. Yeah, that's going to be about right. Excellent. Nope. It's right in front of me. I keep looking over there for my glue because that's where it used to live, in the top of my rascog, and now it doesn't. It lives in front of me. But you kind of get into such a habit of reaching for things in a certain place, don't you? When you move them, it takes a while for your brain to catch up. Right, there we are. I think it might just need a little extra glue at the front there. I know I didn't really want to lose all my flowers, but I think you can still see them through the lace, and it looks really pretty. There we are. So that's it. It's all ready for its little pockets. But I really want to, before I go on to doing that, I want to make my second one. So I won't make you watch every detail of that one, but I'll get it started. And then we'll look at what we can use for the pockets and start putting pockets on and putting things in. So put that one aside. I love that. I really love that. And now for the second one, I'm going completely different. I have this 6x6 paper pad, and it's a Prima paper pad, painted floral it's called. So it's really bright and jolly, and most of my others I've used quite bright papers for it. I just particularly fancied using the Tim Holtz for that one I've just done. But there are a lot of repetitions, but what I like about this is it's double-sided. Because a lot of my 6x6 paper pads are single-sided, so they're not really much good for this, because you want to see both sides. You want both sides to be pretty. So I'm just going to pull it right out. So I'm only going to do 8 pages, I think, for this one. But I don't know if I've got 8 different designs, because there's quite a few repetitions. But I'll go back and reuse my favourites, I expect, if I haven't got enough to do 8 different ones. So there's this one. And this one. What else we got? Butterflies. Is that it? So how many is that? I think it's only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 3 more. So we'll go back through I love this one. I really love this one. Love the colours. And this one, I don't love that as much, but it still would work. I think they're better than the white ones. I'm going to use this blue, just because I think things will show up better against those darker colours. So we just have to trim the tops off. I don't think they're perforated, but I'd have had to trim them anyway because I don't really want a perforated edge. So I'm just going to do that. I won't make you watch me do all that. Right, so they're all trimmed off, ready. And there's no question in my mind, this is going to be the front page. I love this one. Just love those colours. So I've just got to trim off my 1/2 inch again. Now it's exactly the same process. So I just need to put my pin in this before it all dries up. That's not the pin. What am I doing? Have I used my pin on the lace? Yes, I did. This is the pin that belongs to this. And this is the pin for the lace. Okay. Let's do my 1/2 inch again. Which side was I doing? Yes, this side. That end, 1/2 inch this end, okay. So it should be 5.5, yes, that should be okay. Now I just need to score all of these at 1/2 inch. And where's my scoreboard gone? There it is. So when I've done all those, I'll be back. Right, so these are now all scored and folded, ready to put together. And I have put them in the order, a few of them, so I've put them in the order I want them to be, because I have folded a few of them the other way. This one appears to be, I think it's all right now. I think when I folded it, I'd actually did it upside down, but I decided that some of them can go the other way anyway, particularly the ones where I've got repetitions. So that's how it's going to go. So I'm going to put, also I've tried to put colours that go together, so those blues go nicely together. So that's the idea. And I'm just going to glue these together. And we'll have another little book. And then we'll look at what we need to use for the pockets. Right, and there's our other little booklet, all ready to be filled. I love the colours in this, and I need to do something on the spine because it feels quite rough along there. So let's go down the lace route again, shall we? And let's see what we can find. Thinking maybe one of these. Let's see. How would that look? Yep, like that. That's fine. I think the lace will be fine on the edge. I think it's just to finish it off, really. It's not essential to hold it all together, but it just helps to make it look finished. So I think for this, because it's quite a fine lace, I will be able to use the art glitter glue. I'm really liking my new lace storage where I can just have a little look and see what I fancy for any particular project. Oh, there's my pin. And I'll pop that back in, and then we'll pop this on. Make sure I get enough to wrap around. Right, just a bit more bit more glue. Now I know where the lace is going to come to. There we are. And there it is. Just need a little label on the front to say what's in there, but we don't know yet. Right, and the same with this. Well, we know this one's going to have everything Charlie in it, because that's all that will fit, I think. Even then, I think it'd be a bit of a squeeze. So, when Rachel was making her ephemera booklet as part of her challenge, her weekly challenge, this is the one I made as part of the weekly challenge, and we just used vellum to make the pockets, and then you can make them whatever size you like, and that works really well, and that's what I've always done. But then when she made some more, she actually used some self-adhesive acetate or plastic pockets that she bought from Amazon, and I did a bit of a search, and all I could find, which I think would probably be fine, were these ones, and these are self-adhesive, so you just peel it off and glue it on, and I thought maybe that would be quicker, so I thought I'd give them a try. It comes in a pack of 50, so it just comes like this. So I've just taken out the ones on this side, just got them ready to go, but I think I probably need them all. And these are just thin 50-piece label holder. So yeah, I don't know what the make is or anything. And that was the only one that seemed to be the right size for what I need. So that's what I've tried, and I can always get some more, but I have still got some tracing paper that I might use for the second one, but these will be almost enough for this one, because I'm going to try and get 3 on a page. Just otherwise I'm not going to get all my labels in. So I'm just going to see how it goes. Well, I think I'm going to have to separate them. For some reason they peel off really nicely, but they're attached to each other. So just peel it off like that. And I'm going to pop this down quite near the bottom, but it's about the right length. So these are, if I tell you the length, these are 4¼ inches long, and I usually do my pockets about 4½, so they're pretty close. 4¼ inches, or about 11 centimetres. Yeah, 11 centimetres. Wide, long, whatever you want to call it, and then about 3 centimetres high, but the actual pocket is less than that, because the height of the whole thing is there, but the pocket starts a little bit lower. So the pocket is only, and so the whole thing is about 1 1/8 height in inches, 1 1/8 inches. But the actual little pocket is just under an inch. So I thought I might try and see if I can get 3, but I've got to be able to get my labels in. So let's start with some green ones, shall we? Green. I haven't cut the corners off, I'll do that when I use them. It's just easier not to. And I've just got to try and get these in. Where's my little... Yeah, I'll just get this under and just, because they stick. Right, so I've got my word in there, just tucked in, so then I can use that to work out where the other pockets need to go. And I thought, well, if I put the top one on, I don't want the label to stick out over the top of the book, so I'm going to have to bring that down enough that it won't. I'm hoping I'll be able to squeeze another one in between. I think that'll be okay. It doesn't matter if the words overlap onto the pocket above. I just don't want the words to poke up above the page. So I think that'll be all right there. And then we'll see if we can pop another one in between. So let's just... This one doesn't want to separate. The other one just separated nicely. Try the other end. Otherwise I'll have to cut it. There it goes. There we are. Let's just put a word in that one as well. And then I know where I've got to put all my other pockets then, don't I? Some lovely words. Put this along further along, and I can tuck it behind there. So it's about equidistant between them. That's okay, just like that. And then the words can just overlap the pocket above a little bit. And there we have our 3 pockets. I could have done with them being a little bit deeper, because these are going to flap a bit, but I think they'll be okay. I think they'll, when they're all together, I think they'll keep each other in. I think that'll be fine. And I've just got to make sure I line up the next pocket in the same spot. Yeah, these are a little bit not as wide as the ones I usually use, make for myself, as I said, but I'm hoping they'll be okay. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get enough words, because what I'm thinking is double page spread for each colour, and at the end I think there's going to have to be 2 colours on one, because I've got 10 colours, but I'll only have 9 pages to work on, or 9 double pages to work on. So I'll have to put 2 colours. We'll have to share. The ones I use that probably will likely to use the least. We'll have to have 1 page each. That's how it'll have to go. Can make sure I put these on the right way up and line them up. I'm not going to be too exact, but as long as they roughly line up, and then we'll see. Let's just try filling these pockets with the green ones. See how many I can get in, if I can get a whole page, and then as I use them I'll probably print the other page in that colour and refill it. But I can't possibly get more than 1 colour, or 1 page of each colour in, I don't think. We will see. Let's see how many we get in. Well, as far as I can see, that's all the green ones, and they've just about filled it up nicely. So I'm going to carry on adding these into my book, and I'll show you at the end. And I'm also going to, I need to do some pockets for the other book. So when I've made a start on doing that, I'll come back. You've seen how this is all going to go. This book will get filled up. A lot of them haven't been cut out yet, of course. So I'll show you how far I've got at the end. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's several hours later. I have to say it's taken me quite a long while to get these books a bit almost finished, but still quite a long way to go, really. If I quickly show you this one, this is actually the simplest one. I haven't finished putting these pockets in. I've taken it a bit further, but they're really easy. Peel off, stick them in, you're good to go. So, but I've just made sure that I've got each page with a different colour. So all the orange ones will go on this double page, pink, blue, purple. These are red. Doesn't look very red, but these are the red ones. These are the brown, black, and then the last ones at the back are kind of 2 shades of yellow. They're very similar, very close in colour. So I'm going to have to squeeze both of those sets on this last double page. So I won't be able to get, obviously, all of them in here. This is just 1 page, and there's a second page to go on. So I'll have it printed out, ready to pick out, because there's I've not printed off the same page in each colour, so I should have the full range of words. So if I find a word in the orange that isn't in the green, I know that it'll be on the sheet I haven't been able to put in here, that it'll be on the second sheet. So that's this book. There's still a bit more to go. I've still got all these that I've already cut out. They've still got to go in, and all the pages, as you saw, and the rest of those pages. So I have all of these just for this book still to be cut out. So it's a lot. So it'll take me a bit of time. But it's the sort of thing I do when I'm at my craft club, because it's a simple thing to do, but it's really useful because I really need to get these things done. Most of the time I've spent this afternoon working on this one because I didn't have enough pockets to glue in, and actually the size wasn't right. They were just too narrow. They would have probably worked for these ones. These are the journal boater ones that I already had cut out. I've actually cut pockets to 1 inch. So these are just made out of quite thick quality tracing paper. I don't think it's actually vellum. It's in a tracing paper pack, but I think it's not too flimsy. It's quite good. Works really well for these pockets, and I've used it a lot. So this is the coffee coloured ones, and again I have somewhere under here more to cut out. So this is the pink page, the blue page, and I think there's also a green one that I haven't even printed yet. So I give myself a few pages for these. So I put all the ones I had cut out from the one sheet on here. Then I'll start putting in the pink ones and then the blue ones. And at the back, I've got a couple of a really deep pocket and another fairly deep pocket here, because on the side of each page there are these phrases, and some of them are quite long. The longest one, it says, "Believe you can and you're halfway there. Try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud." So they're both really long, but they're quite nice to have. So I've got this deep pocket, and all these tall ones are going to go in here. Some of the ones that are not so tall will go in here. I think that's sort of 2.5. Where's my ruler? I'll just tick. That's well, that's a 2 inch pocket. And these, again, I put a couple of extra 1 inch pockets at the top. So if I run out of space, I can just carry on to here with the smaller words. And then I've got these 2 bigger pockets for the really long words. And there's another little pocket at the top here, just to give myself as much space as possible for all these words. Then I've moved on and I've put my porch prints in here. All of these pockets from now on to the end, all of the pockets, I believe, are what are these? 1.5 inch deep. So they work for everything. The 1.5 inches, because they're all that's about right for the rest of the words. So as I say, the My Porch Prints words are all in here on this double page. Then I've got a jewel design, and I've used the same height of pocket for these, and so that should work over these 2 pages. And then on this lot, the next 2 pages, I've got Lynn's Altered Arts, which are these slightly different ones. They vary in width, they're different widths, but they're mostly the same height. These are the ones I did 2 to a page. You can see how big they are, and this was just half the size. So they were far bigger than I needed. So these are the rest of those. That'll work on this and these 2 pages. And then right at the back, I have 2 more pages that I've left blank. These are still 1.5 inch depth. So if I've got any more that I want to put in, I've got it there. So that one is done, apart from, well, I've made the book. I've just got to get all the little labels cut up and put in there. So there's quite a lot of work still to do from that point of view, but the little books are made and I'm really pleased with them. I think they're really pretty. They're very different. These ones are much more in keeping with the other ones that I've made, but I absolutely love my Tim Holtz one. Really love this. So I'm going to put a label on the front of each one just to say what's inside. Haven't done that yet, but I've really run out of time. So thank you for joining me today, and please do join me again soon. Bye for now.